So before we get into today's episode of the Filmmaker's Diary, first I want to talk about the free live workshop that I'm going to be hosting on 5th of January. In this workshop, I'm going to be talking about the one-person business framework, which is getting more and more popular nowadays. And I'm going to tell you why it's the easiest business model on the market right now, if we can call it a business model. I'm going to be talking about some misconceptions about the whole thing, and I'm also going to show you how can you get started in 2025. So if that's something that interests you, then please look at the link in the description and join the guest list. So welcome back to the third episode of the Filmmaker's Diary. Today I have two ideas, two ideologies that I want to share because I just think they are extremely important. And the first one is that failure should be your best friend. So recently I just finished Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and he talks about in that book about how failing is important and how everybody is wrong basically. And what I've learned from these two chapters basically is that the more times you fail, the more times you can improve basically. But that's something you already know. But most of the people out there are scared to fail at something, fail at a project, because failure is associated with a negative emotion. It's associated with sadness, anxiety, and all these bad things. But the truth is that failure is inevitable if you want to grow. So if you want to grow a business, then you have to fail many times to find out what works and what doesn't. Failure is basically data for your business. Or if you're looking for your dream partner, for your dream relationship, you have to go on dates, you have to go out, you have to put yourself out there and go on dates and have uncomfortable discussions with a stranger basically. But I don't think there is any other way to find out who is the person you would love to hang out with. So you have to have bad dates, you have to go on bad dates, you need to be in these uncomfortable situations. For example, I failed at multiple business models. I tried to become the king of affiliate marketing at one point, and basically I was denied access to a course that I bought and I paid for. Of course, they refunded me, obviously, but I was declined. They told me that I can't have this course basically because I'm still I think I was around 15 years old. So at 15 years old, I couldn't join a course. That was a failure for me. I knew that, okay, maybe I have to give this whole thing some time. And that is a misconception, by the way, but I'm not here to talk about that right now. I wanted to become the next Jordan Welsh. Basically, I watched a lot of videos, I watched some tutorials, I signed up for courses, and I tried to do it all, but still I failed at them. But I've learned some valuable lessons from all these failures, basically. I learned about new platforms, I've gained some knowledge about going viral, about the algorithm of TikTok, because I was trying to sell my products using organic content, which is a stupid thing to do now that I look back, because at that time organic content just wasn't that trendy to sell products. It's not like it is right now. Like, you can easily start promoting your products, your digital products, your everything using organic content, like I do most of the times, and most of the other content creators do as well. But I learned a lot about TikTok. I learned a lot about the algorithm that goes behind this social media basically. And I gave up. I stopped dropshipping because it just wouldn't work for me. But although I learned a lot about designing a web shop basically. I really love to design my web shop using Shopify. After that, me and two of my good friends, we tried to make a YouTube automation channel basically. So we wanted to make a YouTube cash cow channel, how some people call it. Well, it didn't really work out for us. We gave it all for a couple of weeks or maybe 1 month, but it just didn't work out. It was a failure. But I learned a lot about writing scripts because I was the creative person basically behind the videos. I was the one coming up with the scripts. I was the one doing the voiceovers. So I learned a lot about sound, I learned a lot about narration, and I learned a lot about writing scripts. After that, I gave it my all. Well, that is a lie. I didn't give it my all, sadly. But I tried to learn the SMMA, which had a really big blow up in the beginning of, or after 2021, basically in the COVID time. time period. I tried to learn everything from Imam Ghazi. I basically wanted to become the next Imam Ghazi, but I just didn't take enough action. And I know I planned I mean, I tried to plan everything, but I didn't take any action at all. And that is because because of that, I failed. And I learned that you gotta take action. I also learned a lot about ads. I've also learned a lot about personal branding because Imam Ghazi was already doing some personal branding. That's why I found his channel basically. I don't even know what I learned a lot about outreaching. Like that was the first time I heard about outreaching to people via email or by calling them, and that was just too uncomfortable for me to really call someone or email someone. And so because of that, I didn't take enough action. And that's what I learned. Like I learned that you gotta take more action and plan later. Plan ahead a little bit and then dive in and then plan again and then strategize again and then analyze again, and after that dive in again. Like this is the period that you have to go through. Like you have to go plan, action, go back, analyze, plan, action. And this is the way you have to do basically everything. This is how you have to do if you want a 1% business framework. If you want to do that, first you gotta take a lot of action and then plan everything, strategize everything, analyze everything, and then dive again with that new knowledge of yours. And after that, with these two friends of mine, we tried to shoot, or we didn't try to shoot a short film because we did shoot a short film, but now looking back, it is extremely bad. Like it's over edited. It's not like a short film. It does not have that cinematic vibe behind it because we just didn't have the knowledge. But we learned a lot about shooting films. Basically, we learned a lot about script writing. We learned a lot about film editing, because film editing is a lot different than content editing or being a video editor, in my opinion. We learned a lot about all these things. We learned about differences. We learned a lot about how can we direct people, because we had to work with our classmates who were actors in our movie basically. And it wasn't easy, but we learned from it. I wouldn't say it was a big failure because at that time we didn't think it was a failure. For us it was a win that we did our first short film basically. But yeah, we tried, we failed, we tried, we learned, we became better, we upgraded our skills, and I'm here because of that failure. I'm here because of that short film, because that was the time when I realized that okay, I love having a camera in my hand, I love editing videos, I love writing videos, I have to do this, like I have to try something. And that is when I first started creating content on my TikTok, because I was too scared to post it on my Instagram. But after a while I started posting it on Instagram too. But for the first time I was scared. I was extremely scared to post on Instagram, where all of my friends and acquaintances, even my parents and my parents' friend were following me. So if they would see the content that I was posting back then, they would be like, what the fuck? That's what I thought. Of course they didn't think any of this, but that's what I thought. And because of that I was just scared to post anything on Instagram. But I learned from that. I learned that no one really cares. I learned that no one cares about your work. Like they are just too busy with their own life. They don't give a fuck about what you post on your Instagram. Yeah, some people might criticize, but you don't have to care about that, because 99% of the people won't give a fuck about what you do online. They really won't care. You can post anything on social media and no one will care. For a very, very long time, no one will give a fuck. So the main lesson here, I think, is that if you are scared to fail, then you are destined to fail. You can learn a lot from failures. Every single time you fail at something, it's like an invitation to do something new, to try something new, to do something differently. And that is why I think it's amazing to fail. Like, I love hitting roadblocks, because if I hit a roadblock, that means I have to become a better person. I have to upgrade my skills. I have to become better at something. So if you are thinking about doing a project, then don't think, just take action, fail, hit a roadblock, as I like to say it, and then start educating yourself. Let's say you try to work with a big client and you don't really know how can you shoot the best possible content for that client. What you can do is try it. Don't charge for it, because there's a chance they won't get anything from that. Don't charge for it. Shoot a free video, fail, and then see, okay, this isn't what they want, but I can do it. I just have to improve. So give yourself some time to improve and then go back and shoot the content that they want. And this is exactly what I will have to do soon, because I have a prospect who wants content that I've never done before, but I really want to do it because it's exciting and it interests me. But I have to become better at what I do. I have to learn some new skills. I have to learn some new ways to shoot content. But it's okay. Like, I love the process. I really want to do it. So I'm going to do something that is uncomfortable. I will hit a roadblock and I will educate myself after that. You really need to remember that you only learn from mistakes. You only learn from failure. Just because you do something right, it doesn't mean that you will repeat it or you learn from it. And that's for sure. I can guarantee this. But if you fail at something, you will definitely feel that, okay, I need to become better at this. I need to study more. I need to learn about this skill more. I need to focus more or something like that. You will feel this something, that something is not right and you can make it right only if you fail. So fail more, and let's move on to my next ideology. So my next ideology is something that only came to my mind right after pressing record basically on my camera. And it's because of an interesting exercise that we did at my university. So today we learned about 360 cameras because that's what you do in a film school. You learn about cameras. So we learned about VR headsets and 360 cameras. And our professor said that, okay, today's project is that we are going to shoot a video where every single one of you will tell their 10-year vision. So what does that mean? You basically sit down around the 360 camera and everyone will say his 10-year vision into a mic. So what we had to do is basically tell the camera, okay, in 2034, I'm living in X, I'm doing Y. Yeah, basically that's all. You just have to tell where you are in 10 years ahead. What do you do? What is your job? Do you like it? Do you have a family? Do you not? And every single one of us had to do this. Well, I believe a lot in visualization and manifestation, so I was extremely excited to do this, by the way. Everyone spoke their 10-year vision into existence, basically. My lesson from this is that you should do this. Like, I think you should sit down in front of your phone, in front of your camera if you have one, and just speak your vision into existence. Tell your camera, okay, in 5 years, I will be doing this, I will be here, I will be with this person, I will be without these people, or something like that. Just tell your 1 year or 5 year vision and speak it into existence and watch what happens. And 10 years, 10 years is a lot. Like, it's a deadline, but it's really far away from us right now. But just speak it into existence and see what happens. You will immediately want to do something, because when you have one giant goal, really, right? When you have one giant goal, that doesn't really mean anything, because you don't really lay out the path that you have to take to reach that giant goal. So what you can do, by the way, as an exercise, you should set yourself a giant fucking goal, a giant fucking problem that you want to solve. For example, I want 100,000 followers next year. That's a giant goal. Okay, now how am I going to do this? I need an input-based goal. Like, okay, if I want to reach that, I need to post 7 times a week, or at least 5 times a week. I have to upload a new long-form content on YouTube every single week. I have to post on X every single day, and I have to post a thread every week, for example. Like, these are input-based goals, basically. And you have to set yourself these input goals. You have to have your giant goal, your input goals, and then the third thing is that you have to do is really just forget about your giant goal and focus on the input goals. Don't worry about no goals in the middle. Don't worry about the goals in like hit 10K, 20K, 50K followers, for example. No, fuck all those. You will hit those as a byproduct. Immediately focus on what do you have to do to achieve this. If I don't do this, I won't achieve this. This is how it works, basically, right? You have to take action to achieve something, because just planning, it's not going to take you anywhere. But yeah, today's biggest lesson is that you should do this exercise, and you should also speak it into existence. You can also share it on YouTube, but if you're insecure, like I was most of the times, then just keep it for yourself, but record it, speak it into existence. Tell yourself that you are going to do this. No matter what, you are going to do this. It will take a lot of time. It will take 10 years. It will take 20 years, but speak it into existence and it will happen. I just know that it will. So I think that's it for today's episode of The Filmmaker's Diary. If you've enjoyed it, please like and subscribe and follow my journey on this platform. Also, check the description for the links. If you are interested in the one-person business framework, then consider joining my free live workshop that is going to be on the 5th of January. Also, follow me on my Instagram, where I post even more educative content about the 1% business framework. You can also follow me on Twitter or X, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.